Hello and welcome to another episode of Authentically You. Before we get started today, if you have been tuning in, can you please give this video a like and a subscribe? It helps real people be seen and lets us know that the work that we are doing is valued. If it's the first time you're joining us, welcome. I am Anna, the Black Pants Girl, because truly that is all I wear. If it's the first time joining us, we welcome you. And tonight, I'm going to introduce you to another amazing person living their own truth. I have admired this woman since I first stumbled upon her in a Facebook, I think, thread, and she was just saying all the things that hit home with me, and I thought, I gotta know who she is and what she does and all that. So I said, friend request. Let's meet her. And she is just amazing, and I'm going to introduce you tonight to Sybil Bailey. Hi, Sybil.
Hi, Anna. How are you?
I'm groovy. I'm really groovy. I appreciate you joining me tonight and telling the world a little about what you do and why you do it and all of that good stuff. Because,
okay.
you know, what I admired about you was I'm going to be very honest. I admire women who are intelligent and have a level of sass to go with that. And that just makes me super happy. So, because that means you own who you are and you are not afraid to put it out there.
For sure.
Yep. So our first question is always, where does the story of you begin? Where are you from originally? Things like that.
I am a Knoxville native. I was born
Wow.
overseas because my dad was in the service. I was born in Germany.
Okay.
But I've been here most of my life. We were only in Germany maybe a year after I was born.
Gotcha.
And my whole big giant family is in Knoxville as well.
Okay. Wow. So you get a giant family?
I do. I'm probably the only childless one. Like, I have a lot of cousins. And they're all here, so that's nice.
Yeah.
I'm an only child. I'm married. I'm a mother of cats.
That's awesome.
I
I
know
love
that's
fur
ridiculous,
babies.
but it's true. It's
No,
true.
hey, I got dogs, so I get it. You know, fur babies are awesome babies.
Yeah.
They
So
don't ever talk back.
Ever.
Ever.
I wish they could sometimes, because they'd be on my
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, that would be nice because you especially when they're in pain, you'd like to know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
That's true.
So you were born in Germany, but you know, not there for a long time to really like engage in that culture and all that jazz.
No, but I always wanted to go back, and I will one day.
You will, absolutely. And it's funny because that's where my father is from. So I have been blessed to be there a couple of times.
Okay.
It's amazing. Go. Seriously.
I really want to.
Gorgeous. I mean,
Yeah.
I know we live right at the foothills of the Smoky Mountains, but there is nothing like being around the Alps where you're like, holy mackerel, that's a mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet it makes the mountains here look like rolling hills.
Yeah, pretty much. They're
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, no shame in our Smoky Mountain game, but
none at all.
No. But there is something about seeing a gigantic, like, whoa, that's huge. What is that?
Yeah. One of these days.
Now, did you guys move around a lot because of your dad being in the military?
They did before me.
Oh, before you? Oh, so
yeah,
okay,
that's when all the fun happened. They got to live in a lot of different places, but as soon as I came around, everybody put down roots and stayed still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, at least gave you a very stable kind of place to call home.
Agreed.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Knoxville is much better for having you for sure. I will tell you that. And I know some of the chosen path that you have decided to walk as a person and a professional, but tell those who may not know what you do a little bit about that.
It is going to sound a whole lot of cliche, but I promise it's the truth. I've done a lot of different jobs over my lifetime. I worked in an art gallery. I worked in the OR. I
Oh,
worked for a
wow.
plastic surgeon. I was a makeup artist. And my last job in corporate America was in television in the international division of the company I worked for.
Oh, wow.
And I loved the people I work with. And it was pretty cool to be able to talk to people all over the world from
Hmm.
little old Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
So I really liked where I was working and who I was working with. But there was nothing about my work that really fulfilled me.
Gotcha.
So when the opportunity came to make a switch, I
Hmm.
leapt on it and at 50 rolled into beauty school.
Wow.
It had been a dream of mine for about 30 years, and I didn't think really hard about it because if I had, I probably would have scared myself bad enough to not do it.
Right.
So I interviewed a couple of places, picked a start date, and went through it. And it
Wow.
was so much fun.
Oh, wow. So it was just something that connected with your soul when you finally got there.
It really did. And,
Hmm.
sometimes I say, why didn't I do this when I was 20? But I don't think I was supposed to do it when I was 20. I think I'm supposed to be doing it right now.
Hmm.
And it's literally what has kept me from tipping over
Yeah.
during these trying times.
Yeah.
You know, about 50% of my clients cry a little bit while they're here. Not sad, but just, I guess, like release, because we're all holding it together and putting our sanest face forward.
Yeah.
And it's very, I'm proud that I get to do this kind of work. I cannot believe this is my life.
Oh, no, absolutely. And the funny thing is those who look at the beauty industry or or beauty wellness care and all of that as something that is just sort of, how do I put this? You know how people sometimes get judgy and they say things like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's just trivial. You don't need that." No, no, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
It is transformative.
I
Like,
think so.
it helps women, men, anyone who is struggling just feel a little bit better. It gives you more confidence. It makes you feel whole. I mean, your
Yeah.
face is the face that you see every morning when you wake up and you look in that mirror.
Hmm.
And when you're struggling or when you're going through tough times, your face is going to show it. As much
Yeah.
as you would like to pretend that you put
Yeah.
the biggest, boldest face out there, you can't always hide the fact that life sometimes gets in the way.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people, and myself for a lot of years, you can have a long stretch of time when you're single or, where you're not touched.
Yeah.
And people need touch.
Oh, they do.
And not to toot my own horn, but beep, beep, there's magic in these hands.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
it's good for your skin. It's good for your self-esteem. It's
Hmm.
good for your spirit.
Oh, it is. It is
Yeah.
vital. I mean, if you look back at early psychology studies where they did the Skinner box test where they put a baby in like a thing and didn't have a lot of physical contact with that
Yes.
child, it's
Yes.
so it that child will not nurture. That child will not,
Yeah.
thrive because without touch, what are we're a culture that we're a species, for lack of a better term, that thrives on the ability to actually share touch as one of our means
Mhm.
of communication with one another.
Yeah.
Um, and I am excited as anything to get your hands working on my face because I'm 46 in the last couple of years, and I tell my fiance this all the time. I feel like the truck is running over my face more than I'd like it to be at this point.
We all think that. And if we
Oh
could see
gosh,
our faces through other people's eyes, none of the things that we see, they don't see them.
you're probably right on that.
Yeah.
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 You are probably 100% right. Now, you mentioned that, you had this great, you had this great job doing the international thing with in the entertainment television industry, and then all of a sudden you realized it just wasn't fulfilling you the way that you felt as a woman. You wanted to have that kind of, I feel like what I'm doing is meaningful to me, and
Yeah.
it's really feeding my soul, not just me giving out at this point.
Hmm.
Was there a particular aha moment, or has it just been a journey for you?
I feel like, and maybe it was just getting older. I feel like my work started to be a grind.
Yeah, gotcha.
Like there were times where I couldn't lift my arm because I was so tensed up and I was grinding my teeth, and it was just the pace
Yeah.
of corporate America that was not for me. And there was the encouragement to climb and climb and climb, and
Mhm.
I just wanted to be happy and healthy and sleep at night.
Those are
And
important things.
so, yeah, and it was scary because I made a good living,
Hmm.
but I think that this has the stars have sort of aligned to show me that this was the path I needed to take, because I've also learned recently that I don't need a lot, that I was doing a lot of like frivolous spending,
Sure.
and now in more than just work, I concentrate on things and people that make me happy.
Hmm.
Another cliche I used to say whenever I'd hear somebody say, if you do something you love, you never work a day in your life, and I would immediately go, bullshit. But it's true.
Right.
I skip in here and turn my music up loud and get ready for the day, and have made many new friends that
Yeah.
started out as clients. So
Yeah.
again, this feels like a fairy tale, and I probably should give a shout out to my sweet thing who has been completely supportive in this, but I wouldn't have married somebody that wasn't.
I was gonna
So,
say I didn't see that in you. So yeah, good. Good. You married a supporter. That's good.
but it's been a community effort. My friends and family and dozens of coworkers from that corporate job are regular clients in
That's
here.
awesome.
It is amazing. The love I get, I'm so thankful, so thankful.
Well, I will tell you the reason why they are clients and friends is because you are magnetic. I will say that. And I'm sure that your magnetism is something you have to also protect, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who get attracted to you that are probably a little bit like,
A little bit, a
draining.
little draining, a little
Yeah,
bit every once in a while.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to protect that. But no, I mean, if someone was around you and you said, you know what, I'm going to switch this up and go do my own business and do this, they were like, well, what is it? And can I come join? Can I come and be your client?
It literally has been just like that. I mean, they promote me on social media, they
Yep.
come here, that it's only going to get better, I believe.
No, that's awesome. So you chose the name for your business as Afro Mermaid, right? Is it Afro Mermaid
I
Skincare?
did. Mhm. And, I wish there were some grand story to tell about it, but I really like afros and I really like mermaids. And
They're both
I,
cool.
there was some discussion, right? There was discussion about, should you name it that? Is it gonna maybe alien clients or give the impression that it's only for women with afros? And I thought, well, if people think that, those probably aren't people that should be here anyway. So
Right.
it's worked out.
Yep.
It
I
has
always
worked
say
out.
the right people will find you when you stay true to who you are.
It is so true. In setting up this business, I keep talking about what all everybody's done for me, but my friends gathered around me.
Mhm.
I had been talking about Afro Mermaid tattoos and Afro Mermaid this for years to one of my
Yeah.
friends we went to high school together, and he's a designer. He did all my branding. Another friend designed my website.
That's awesome.
A photographer friend took all my images. I mean, this was meant to be
Yeah,
and like gifted those things to me.
that's awesome.
So here we are.
Yeah. And I will put a link to your website and also your amazing logo. So they did you very well for sure.
Thank
They're,
you.
they
Thank
are just
you.
absolutely beautiful. Now, when you look at your life and the things that you have achieved, and you mentioned a really valid point where you realize when you finally do what you want to do, it's not about keeping up with the Joneses and accumulating things, because honestly, at the end of the day, it just means you're going to have a yard sale at some point. That's really what
Yeah.
that means. It's
Yeah.
just too much
Or
stuff.
whoever's left here is going to have to get rid of all of it.
Yes, exactly. So and I have a father who is in his almost 90 and has gonna I don't want to even think about that house. But that's a whole other story for another
Gotcha.
day.
That's another episode. Yes.
Absolutely. But when you think about your working life or your professional life, is there something that you hold on to that makes you feel a sense of personal accomplishment when you think about something that you have sort of met, or it could be a work in progress that you're working on?
Gosh, it's not anything profound.
You know what? You'd be surprised though. What you
It's
may not
not.
see as profound, other people might be like, you know what? I never thought about that.
I was a bit wild in my 20s.
Okay.
I did not expect to see 50. I wasn't sure how it would happen, but this is a true surprise for me. So you
Yeah.
know what? Surviving and being healthy and happy
Yeah.
is the thing I hold on to, because I didn't always think that. And I don't
Right.
know if I were just a Debbie Downer or, I came of age in the AIDS crisis, and there was
Mhm.
lots of troubling things in the world back
Oh
then, but I
yeah.
didn't think I'd live this long, and here I am. So I hold on to health and happiness.
I think those are extremely good achievements.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, when you look back on your life, you want to say, I'm really happy about what I've done and what I've lived through and where I've come and how I've come through it. And at the you know, like I said to somebody recently, I said, at the end of the day, when you are saying your last goodbyes to people, no one's going to talk about what your political stance is. No one's going to talk about, all the stuff that went wrong. They're going to talk about what went right. They're going to talk about, hopefully you haven't had a lot of regrets in life. You know what I mean? Things like that. It's about the real stuff. It's not about the stuff that at the end of the day, when it all washes away, matters, you
for
know?
sure. And we've been told some semblance of that our whole lives, but the
Hmm.
older you get, the more you believe that.
Yeah,
So
it's so true.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually think that aging is a beautiful thing that us as women go through. Um, and I mean this in every way, shape, and form. And I've said this on another interview before, that if we had our whole head game together at the same time that our body was together,
Unstoppable.
yeah, no, that no one would stand a chance. That's just life. And so it has to
That's
balance.
why it doesn't work that
Yeah,
way.
it has to balance itself out a little bit, because our head games aren't really together in the 20s. They're just all about
Yeah.
everybody, pleasing everybody, making everybody happy. You're doing things for different reasons, and then
Hmm.
you get older and you're like, you know what? Does this even serve me?
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
this nourish my soul? No.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to have the kind of mother who taught me from a very young age, the goal is to do what you want to do as much of the time as you can and not hurt anybody.
Yep.
So I was never one of those girls or women who said I probably should,
That's a good, yeah.
Yeah. So I would say, when people would say, "Do you wanna?" and I'd say no, and they'd say, "Why?" and I'd say, "Because I don't wanna."
Right.
It's kind of simple, but yeah, I think being older I've gotten better at that, and I do what makes me happy.
Absolutely, as you should. And if it makes you not feel good or makes you not feel happy, I agree with you. I don't wanna.
Yeah.
And not to
Yeah.
be afraid to say I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of younger women are afraid to say that. They're just afraid, like, oh, I'll seem like I don't want to go. I'm not a, I'm not a people person, or I'm not a joiner, or I'm not, they're gonna think that I
And
don't
at
like
work, I'm
them.
not a team player, yeah.
Yep. But if
And
it
you see it
doesn't,
all the time on postcards. No is the whole answer.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is, and stand by it without having to give
Yeah.
any additional feedback on it. I just
Yeah.
said no. It's all right.
That
We're
takes
good.
practice. That takes practice. I still find myself sometimes saying, "Oh, sorry," and there's nothing to be sorry for,
Right.
or saying no because, and just no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No's okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
and no is a sign of, I would definitely say, wisdom and confidence. No is
For sure.
okay. No is
For sure.
100% okay.
I agree.
Yeah. Now, if you could go back though and give your younger self a little bit of advice, if you had the chance,
Yeah.
what advice would you give them? And I ask this question because typically there's somebody who watches this who probably needs to hear that same advice. You
I
know, and I know.
would tell my younger self to drink more water, wear sunscreen,
Yep.
and relax. Just calm down. Just
Breathe a little bit, like
none of
center
this
yourself
stuff,
and breathe.
none of this stuff is as important as you think it is.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And that is true. I think a lot of us don't realize that until much later in our lives, that it says don't sweat that what's that book? Don't sweat the small stuff. And by the way, most of it's small stuff. You're like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
You're like, if I could have written that book, we'd be millionaires by now. But
Absolutely.
I didn't
I'd
realize.
be somewhere getting a facial. Yeah.
They Well, I will definitely say, at the end of the day, I think you finding the path that you wanted to walk is the most important thing about you feeling the way you do now as a woman. Just actually putting it out there, doing the work that, you know, helps others, because it's a huge, I definitely think of it's more of it's therapy.
I feel like it may be because,
Yeah.
kind of like when you're at the salon getting your hair done and you tell that person everything.
Yep.
There's some secrets here in the vault. Yeah.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course there is. There's
So
that
it's,
level of intimacy that goes with
yeah,
what you do. And you probably, I don't know if you ever thought that that was going to be part of what you would be doing.
I did not. I did not. I mean, it makes sense that it is.
Yeah,
And I mean, I'm sort of like that myself. So I don't know why I didn't think about it. But
right.
yeah, I'm thankful that people are relaxed enough to unburden themselves because it's with the really good and the really bad. And
Of
I
course.
take that very seriously. It's a gift for somebody to share stuff like that with you.
It is. It really is. There's a level of trust there
Mm-hmm.
that honestly, like you said, it is a gift. And when it shows up, sometimes it's a gift that takes you completely by surprise.
Yeah.
Because you will meet many people, I'm sure, who are in your hands that are very closed off in the beginning, and
Mm-hmm.
then, from working with them for as long as you do, not even just on that first session, but multiple sessions, you've
Yeah,
seen that person change so much
for
and
sure.
relax, which
For
is
sure. Yeah.
that's the most beautiful thing about the work that you do, and that's why I cannot wait to get my checkbook in order so I can come visit you for sure. And that's soon.
You're
It's
gonna
happening.
love it.
I love it.
Love it.
So we are going to end today's interview with the 10 questions that were made famous by Bernard Pivot, who is a French interviewer. And a lot of people know them from James Lipton's Inside the Actors Studio.
Absolutely,
I
James
love
Lipton. I had no idea they weren't his.
Yeah, no, I know, right? Because he
Yeah.
said it with such confidence, and it
Yeah.
always just is how he ended it. And I always liked it because it's the things you don't really know about.
Yeah, but you want to once you hear
Yeah,
it.
these are the juicy questions. All right, my dear. So these are quick
Okay.
fire. I want you to just free associate off them and don't overthink it. All right. What is your
Okay.
favorite? What is your favorite word?
Kindness.
Good word. What's your least favorite word?
Yeah. Nice.
Said exactly like that. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
What turns you on creatively,
Mm-hmm. Just
spiritually,
like
or
that.
emotionally?
Beauty.
Ooh, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's true. What turns you off?
Public restrooms.
Oh, I'm gonna agree with you. I never
That's my
thought about that,
kryptonite.
but
That's
real.
my kryptonite.
You're probably like, no, I'm gonna wait. I'm good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I have a bladder this big.
I used to be good at that. Oh, I was the same way. I would be like, I'll just make it till I get home. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Whew. What is this is honestly my favorite question, and I don't know why some people get nervous about it, but what's your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
Honestly, I don't know why it's not everybody's, because it's the most
It's.
universal.
I feel like it should be. It's a noun.
Yes,
It's a verb. Yes.
it's
Yes. It's an
everything.
adjective.
It is, yeah, it's good. I agree. What sound or noise do you love?
Oh, purring.
Oh, yeah, it's such a good sound. Oh,
It
it's that
is. I
happy
wish I could
sound.
do it.
It's a happy,
Yeah.
contented sound.
Mhm.
Ugh, I love it. What sound or noise do you hate?
Oh no, this is rapid fire. What
Oh, you're
sound or noise do
fine.
I hate? The toilet flushing. The
Yeah,
toilet
that's not a
flushing.
fun
I have
sound.
bathroom issues.
No,
But like,
we may have uncovered something great here. We don't know. This could be a big,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, this could be big.
yeah. A breakthrough.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I think I'm going to know the answer to this next question because you're already doing it. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
You know, if I were not doing this right now, I would love to be like a travel food writer because
Yeah.
I love to eat, but I'm not a great cook. And I fancy myself a bit of a writer too.
Yeah. Well, that would be
Yeah.
an amazing job. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
great. What what profession would you never want to do? I have a feeling it
I would
involves bathrooms.
never, ever want to be an attorney.
Ooh, that,
Yeah.
yeah, I could, yeah.
Yeah. It
That's a,
just,
it's
it
just a
stresses
different
me
way
out
of
just saying
being.
the word. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
it is a
Yeah.
lot.
I'm glad they do it, but I would never.
No,
Yeah.
we need them, but that's not for
Yes.
us, for
No, no, no,
sure.
no.
And now you have reached the end, and you have been so delightful and everything that I ever wanted to have an interview with you. I was so excited to do this because we have yet to meet personally face to face. So that's going to
Yeah.
happen soon. But
Good.
lastly, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You can absolutely smoke pot here.
That is, I am sure that that will be said
I feel
100%.
like it's going to be a given. Yes.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And honestly, that's part of what that is afterwards. Because that sense of calm and joy, and it'll only
Yeah.
be the good stuff. It will only be the good stuff, the stuff that
There
does
will
not cause
be no
paranoia in
bad.
any way. Because that's not heaven pot. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
No.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
that's real.
Yes.
And that's totally, I believe that that will be said. No, no question. I have no question in my mind.
This
Well,
was
Sybil,
fun.
it has been a absolute delight getting to talk to you today, and I want to thank you so much for being, the effervescent person that I expected you to be in every way, and
Good.
also the healer, because there's so much that I think that you shared that we take for granted when we think about people who care for us in a physical way. It's so much deeper than that, and it reaches so much more depth of us as the person who's sitting in a chair, on a table, in your hands. We experience it when we're there. We experience it when we walk out and we take that selfie, or we look in the mirror. But I think reminding ourselves of how good it feels to be cared for in
Mm-hmm.
that way is really what all of this is about, and
Yeah.
being kind to yourself. And I want you to live as beautifully rich a life as you possibly can. And you know what? You need to just get out there and start food blogging and stuff, no matter what. If that's going to be
Just
part of your journey, do it.
eat it and write it down.
That's exactly right. Because you know what? I will follow along, and then I will find where you ate, and I will go eat it myself. I'll
Okay.
tell you that. So that's going to be our contract with each other.
That's the
You
plan.
go eat beautiful meals and then tell me where you went.
Okay.
Well,
That
my dear,
sounds good.
this has been a beautiful episode of Authentically You, and I just want to thank Sybil Bailey from Afro Mermaid in Knoxville, Tennessee. And I don't know, maybe you'll go worldwide someday. You'll be taking care of people no matter where they. Hey, just remember, if someone's willing to pay you and you want to go there, I mean, hey, that's a
Gone
thing.
for sure.
And this has been Authentically You. Good night.
Bye, everybody.
See, it was good.
Oh, God. I'm so hot.